Lieve luisteraar, voor deze aflevering van Podlood van start gaat, wil ik nog een kleine boodschap meegeven. 2 à 3 keer per maand stuur ik mijn brief uit het atelier uit. In deze brief laat ik je meekijken in mijn werkplek en klaslokaal en hou ik je op de hoogte van deze podcast. Het is mijn manier om mijn gedachten te ordenen en verhalen te delen. Zo toonde ik niet zo lang geleden de cover en de titel van mijn nieuwe boek, dat in oktober 2025 verschijnt, en gaf ik een gedetailleerde inkijk in hoe het hoofdpersonage uit dat boek, Lo, ontwikkeld werd. Dat vind je voor alle duidelijkheid niet terug op mijn sociale media, enkel in deze brief uit het atelier. Abonneren is en blijft helemaal gratis en kan op mijn website christophedevos.com, waar je even doorklikt op brief uit het atelier. Tot zover mijn boodschap. Ik wens je veel plezier met deze aflevering van Podlood. Hey, welkom bij Podlood. Een podcast over de wonderlijke wereld van illustratie. Mijn naam is Christophe de Vos. Ik ben illustrator, auteur en docent illustratie. En elke aflevering nodig ik een gast uit in mijn atelier om het te hebben over zijn of haar relatie met illustratie. Al kleuren we ook wel eens buiten die lijntjes. Zoals vandaag, want ik bevind me momenteel in een atelier in Zweden tijdens het SmåBUS festival, een internationale conferentie rond kinder- en jeugdliteratuur in het hart van Småland. Ik ben hier uitgenodigd om een workshop te geven aan illustratoren, auteurs en boekenliefhebbers en maak van de gelegenheid gebruik om met de deelnemers een aflevering van Podlood op te nemen. Geniet ervan. Ik zit nog heel even alleen in dit prachtige atelier op de terreinen van de Sörängens Folkhögskola in Nässjö. En voor we beginnen wil ik nog heel even Joke Guns bedanken, die me hier uitnodigde en zowel deze aflevering van Podlood als dit bijzondere festival mogelijk maakt. Ik ben hier een uurtje geleden gearriveerd onder een stralende zon en net toen ik alle opnameapparatuur had opgesteld onder een boom in de binnentuin die zo uit Lord of the Rings leek te komen, begon het te regenen. Zo is het leven in Zweden. Voor de fika, een soort Zweedse koffiepauze XL, gaf ik een workshop waarin ik de deelnemers met enkele teken- en schrijfoefeningen voorbereidde op deze opnames. Er zitten mensen bij uit België, maar ook uit Oostenrijk, Zweden, Denemarken, Letland en Slowakije. Dus deze aflevering neem ik voor 1 keer in het Engels op. Ik geloof dat ik de eerste deelnemers zie binnenkomen. Come in. I'm already recording. Is there someone who wants to start? You can go first. Yeah?
Hi, I'm Ingeberg, and I always thought I was a writer.
Yeah.
And I identified myself as a writer, and I thought it was important other people saw me as a writer, and as a bloody good one as well. And I had a period in time when it was important for me to write stories that would make people feel I'm a good writer. So I skipped the stories that I thought that maybe they would think they're too easy. And I didn't write them because I thought I had to write philosophical stories or stories with a meaning, with a message. And I only tried to write those. And I became so very unhappy because what I thought would happen, people thinking, oh, like, look, she's a good writer, didn't happen. And I didn't feel I was a good writer in those days because I didn't feel I was being myself. And then 2018 came and the first SmåBUS came as well. And I went to SmåBUS, met all these amazing people. Some of you are still here today as well. And the theme was literature and the joy of literature. And I was like, I'm here and I don't feel the joy. The joy has left the building. left me. And I went home, and I was in my garden, and I've been away for some time, 10 days, I think. It was full of weeds. And my parents-in-law said, "Oh, there's a lot of weeds in the garden. You should start getting them out."
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, yes, they've overgrown. And I started weeding in the garden. And then I'll leave the nettles. They're important. I can make tea of them. And I leave them and those. And I still do that. I leave buttercups and I leave daisies and what you call them, the yellow flowers that are very important early in spring. And I just left them for the first bees. And more I left weeds, and they made me happy. And I was thinking, why don't I do the same with my stories? I don't have to weed them. I have to write them. I have to write stories that make me happy. And stories I know will make people happy. Stories full of fun and joy and jokes. And even if one kid reads a book of mine and starts laughing, really laughing loud, I have made that child happy that day. And maybe I brought some joy in his world. And that's important. And I started writing those stories. And I started being happy. So that's why I always call myself a gardener. Because from that day on, I started writing as a gardener. Because when you garden, you just put the hairy bit in the soil. And you nurture it. And you hope for the best. And when you just write your story, what you feel, you take it out and you nurture it and you hope for the best. And that's what you do, and that's what makes me happy.
That's a beautiful opening story, Ine. Thank you. Are there... So you changed as a writer, but also your writing changed.
It changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you get that... Do readers give you feedback? Do they feel this?
I think yes, because I didn't get... Yeah. I got nothing, no connection.
Yeah.
And now I do. I get a lot of connection from my readers. They're happy and they let me know they're happy, and I feel it. And it gives me a drive to even write more.
Yeah.
And instead of getting like really... like it was drawn out of me, the joy was drawn out of me. Now I'm getting filled with the joy of...
Yeah.
Can't explain it, but it's like you get the fizzy balls. You get the fizzy balls. You can throw them in a bath or in a shower, and that's what I get from my readers. I get messages, and they're like little fizzy balls get thrown at me.
Yeah.
And yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you for your story. Okay, who's next? Conditions are great with rain. It's perfect. Yeah. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Angelique, and I'm a social entrepreneur and a fighter for democratic rights, I would say.
How do you do that?
Well, I do it all the time in my writing, in my entrepreneurship. And I also do it in a way like being someone that walks in the front and set myself and my needs high, actually.
Okay.
So, for example, this morning when I walked here to SmåBUS festival, I was doing a small video for my Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was talking about why is it easy for me to take my writing seriously. And as I walked, I ended up in like I'm taking myself seriously.
Yeah.
Because if I take myself and not myself as in I cannot laugh at my mistakes and so on,
yeah,
but
of course. Yeah.
My aims or my needs or my dreams seriously, then it's easy to take my writing seriously as well. So I think as a woman, we are trained to take other needs first.
Okay.
So what we train on, we become good at. So I'm training, like my whole grown-up lives, I've been training on taking my needs and my feelings seriously.
Yeah.
And also to, like, also take care of what happens with other people when I say no or set boundaries, and to stand it, because you cannot be loved by everyone, and you cannot be liked by everyone. But it's easy to do your thing if you can sacrifice some things on the way. So then it becomes more easy. So I guess I'm a person that takes myself seriously.
Seriously? What did you sacrifice?
For example, since 20 years back, I live with a partner that thinks gender equality is important. So I have to sacrifice some relationships that cannot stand, like me saying no, for example, or those kind of things. So you have to be clear about what kind of life do I want to live, how do I want to spend my money, or so. I'm an entrepreneur, so I can take care of my own time in a way, but I could probably earn much more money if I did other things. But for me, the writing is important in my life.
Okay, and how is your vision visible in your work?
In everything I do, because everything I write is pushing norms. I want to be normative, creative in my writing, and also who I work with and what kind of values they have, and so on. So that's why I woke up in the morning to make this more inclusive world and giving tools to more people so they can do what they want.
Yeah. Is there an illustration that is very important in your life?
Yeah, I was choosing between, Pippi Longstrump standing with the horse on her straight arms, like a strong girl who is crossing boundaries, but also this you can do it, the woman with the strong arm. So I guess they symbolize the same thing. I would like more, not only young girls, but also women to start spending more time with themselves, I guess. Not taking care of everyone else, but more time with themselves, not producing anything, consuming anything, but just start to think about what do I want, because I think that's how we make the world better. Because then we can organize. I believe in politics and democracy, doing things together, but then you have to know what you stand for. It's a very recurring theme, the strong female figure. Where did it originate? For me? Well, I guess both my parents are entrepreneurs, so it's very much about taking care of the local society, but also creating your own work, your own business. And I write the book I need to have. I start a company, I start a network, I do what I think miss. So I guess from childhood, if it's not there, you can do it. Which also is the slogan on those posters. But it's not easy. I mean, I always get punches in the face, so to speak, when I talk about this. But it's not easy. I mean, it's hard. Life is hard. And as I said, you have to sacrifice things. People get provoked and so on. And I'm the last one who say, you fix everything by yourself. Because I think it's when we cooperate and we do stuff together, that's how we solve the social issues and so on. But it's important to spend time with yourself so you find out why you do stuff and for whom.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How would you describe yourself?
The word I usually use on my website and when people ask me sounds a bit like it came out of Tolkien and I read too much fantasy. It's a walker between worlds. And that was an expression that came to me when I was rather young. And I didn't know where it came from, but I sort of accepted it as, I guess that's me then. And it's only in the course of my life that I started to understand what it actually meant. And it is true. It really does mean me. It's what I do when I write, and I move from the real world into the imaginary world, or from the material world into the psychological or the magical world. It's when I create things and I put things into shape and into form that were not there before. And when I sense into people, when I sense into landscapes, into nature, and I always indeed walk these pathways between the worlds. And in that way, I also think I weave connections with people, with stories, with things I make. And I hope that they can be a contribution to the greater weave, to the greater web of everything interconnected that we're all a part of.
I forgot to officially ask your name in the microphone.
Well, we can just call me Walker, but no, it's not true. My name is Kirstin Vanlierde.
Okay, thank you. You write?
I do.
How do you choose, or do you choose your collaborations with illustrators?
They are always magical connections to me. People I feel attuned to, or that work in a way, in a style, or about subjects that really speak to me. And working with an illustrator for me is a bit like finding a best friend or falling in love. It doesn't work with everybody. And it's the magic of the story that we're creating together that really creates the weave.
Okay. It really works with Jurgen Walschel?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's a soulmate.
Yeah?
Totally.
How would you talk about your relation together?
That's a long story, so that's difficult to make.
We have 4 more minutes.
Yeah, exactly. We met at a book fair, just by chance, and then we happened to run into each other at several occasions that were really, really absurd. Like in a very, very small French town, finding each other standing at the same stall, buying the same thing, not knowing we were going to be there, and we sort of managed that like 2 or 3 times in a row. And we wanted to do something together. We had subjects that interested us both, and I gave him a manuscript that I was working on and that I thought nobody was going to be able to read or like. But he said, I just saw the images flowing and everything just came up. He really wanted to work on that. It's a book we never published, actually, but it was the beginning. And when we had a very serious conversation about it, I remember him asking, tell me, honestly, do you think your story needs my drawings? And the only honest answer I could give him was no, because a good story shouldn't need drawings. But it's the language, and it's the reader needs to see it for himself. But I think if we start to work together, that 1 and 1 can be 3, and we can create something that's bigger than the sum of its parts. And that's when he showed me the first image he had actually already made for the manuscript I'd given him, which is an image I cherish very much because you asked us about illustrations that have a big meaning in our lives. So that's one that was on my list because when I saw that image, I knew that the 1 + 1 is 3 was happening, and I felt that we could be indeed creating work of an enormous depth that would be important to both of us and hopefully also for a lot of other people. Okay.
And what? How many books did you make together?
4 until now.
Okay. So there's a 5th in the making, or?
There are ideas and plans for a 5th.
What is, without Jurgen hearing us, what's your favorite?
I think that would be the Ceres van Mendel's greenhouses, which was also partly created here in Sweden. We got a 2-week scholarship from the auteurs to come here and work here on the project, and that was it. And that was also the start for me of what I call my magical Sweden adventure, because I ended up really falling in love with the country, and I've been here several times since then.
Okay, great. So you're going to live here in the future?
That's one of the possible options, but
Okay.
I'm not going to say yes with great certainty yet. But I really would like to be here on a regular basis.
What attracts you here?
It's what I call deep time.
Yeah.
It's the enormous depth and age of the rocks and the soil, the ground, still actually coming up out of the sea. After being weighed down by the weight of the ice of the last ice age, which pushed it down into the, I don't know what the geological word is, like the deeper layer of the earth.
Yeah.
And so the ice melted, and then you remove your finger from a sponge, and the thing comes back up.
Yeah.
Well, the earth here is still coming back up at about a centimeter a year. So there are huge forces at work here in this continent. And everything that you see that grows on the rocks takes so much time. The moss, the shrubs. This is nature that has a rhythm that is beyond us.
Yeah.
And I'm a deep, deep feeler. And when I come here, I feel that, and I can put down my roots, and I feel that I'm really home in a way that I'm not when I go back to Flanders.
Yeah. You're in between worlds.
Oh yes, totally.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not good going after Kirstin, who's good with the words. I feel a lot of pressure.
You can always run.
Oh yeah?
So yeah.
Always right there.
Yeah.
Okay, hello.
Hi, who are you?
My name is Lo.
Hi, Lo.
Hi. I would like to describe myself as an illustrator and a landscaper and a garden designer. But you told us to go deeper than that.
I asked you. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I think it's a bit hard for me to do because I'm a very concrete person. I'm a literal person.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's hard for me to think a bit deeper about those things. It's easier for me to say what I do and what I like and where I live.
Yeah.
And I do put a bit of an honor in not taking myself too seriously.
Okay.
But then you played us some music that was very dramatic and very deep. And you got me into a very deep mood. So I tried to think a bit harder about myself and who I am. So if I talk about me as a person, I would maybe describe myself as a searching person who has almost found what I was looking for.
Almost.
Well, almost. Well, like I feel like I know kind of what, like it's within grasp. I have been very lost in most of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to find a base, both in a physical place and in myself as a person. And learning what works for me personally, what makes me safe and happy and content. And
does that include moving from Sweden to Denmark, which I heard earlier today?
Yeah, but that was 10 years ago. I was very lost when I moved to Denmark.
Yeah.
I was 19 and I'm in another country and I don't know what I'm doing. And there was a lot of financial insecurity and homelessness and alcohol and mental illness involved for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And now I've gotten to know myself very well. And I'm slowly putting together a life that works for me. I have a lot of need for stability, I think, that I wasn't aware of before. I thought I was fine with flying around everywhere, but now I see that the stability and the strict schedule even and all those things, those are the things that work for me. And I'm getting that together.
Wow.
And I would like to, at some point, be able to help other people. But I think a lot of my focus on myself right now is to do the things I want to do and what I need to do.
Yeah.
I want to draw things that I like drawing, and I want to build things that I think are beautiful, and I want to be outdoors. And I found found a pretty good balance.
Okay.
Almost.
Yeah.
And I did think for a long time that I wanted to be an illustrator full time, but it turns out that it's not actually working for me. Mm-hmm. It's a very insecure life. Mm-hmm. And you think that when you start drawing and writing, that is the goal, to be doing this all the time. That is the dream for a lot of us, to just sit at home and draw every day. Mm-hmm. But it's a very unstable way of living. It's always, you never know when the next client is coming. You don't know what you're going to draw. Maybe you really need the money, so you have to draw something that you don't like drawing, and then the joy of drawing is gone. And that didn't work for me. And drawing used to be my only therapy. And then the joy of drawing disappeared. I was really lost again.
Yeah.
So now I've gotten a good balance where I can work outdoors, and I have a pretty stable income, and I can do my illustration on the side of that, and that is a balance that really works for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's an important thing to remember, that drawing full time maybe is not the goal. Mm-hmm. If what you love is drawing, the love might die if you do it so much in that way.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy to scale down. And now I'm only drawing things that I really love to draw.
You touched some really serious issues: homelessness, alcoholism, mental.
Yeah, I told you
illness.
I was lost. I didn't know where I was.
Does drawing, gardening, landscaping? I don't know what the difference is between gardening and landscaping. But does this help you?
Gardening is more about plants, and landscaping is a lot of like stones and concrete.
Okay.
And building things.
And those three things, they help you really become a stable person with a stable life. Yeah. What you want. Okay. I think it went well. I think you dove really deep inside yourself.
I really tried. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Who are you?
Who am I? Who I am?
Yeah.
I am what I am, and what I'm Nene. Mm-hmm. That's my nickname, actually. And it's I was born in South Europe.
Yeah.
And then I moved on 2 times. I changed the country and the language of the country.
Yeah.
So sometimes when the people ask me, who are you? Kind of, I don't know. The people call me with my nickname and not with my actual name. And I actually identify myself with the languages. Yeah. So my family language is Croatian, which actually it's an dialect. But I lived then in Italy, so I identify myself with Italian language, and now I live in Vienna, so it's very I'm international.
Okay, and what's in between Vienna and Italy?
Between Vienna and Italy, it's nothing.
Okay,
it's what do you mean? What is between?
I thought maybe you lived somewhere else already. No,
it's enough.
It's enough. Okay. What language do you think in?
It depends. I think now also in German, or when I think about the people, I dream in German. When I'm in Italy, I'm dreaming Italian, of course. But I think in Italian a lot. Yeah. And when I write, I write in lots of languages, so it's very confusing. Yeah. If somebody take this, what is this? But for me, it's kind of it's normal. I could not write my thoughts in one language, just when I was studying them. But even in the study time, it was like, So,
Okay.
And that,
do you write in different languages and send it to a publisher also?
No, I am an educator and puppeteer.
Yeah.
And I work with a puppet theater in language teaching. So, because I know how hard it is to learn a language, even the children, they learn very quick. But still, they are in the schools, they have to produce. This is the system. So I trying to help them with the puppets, like to speak German, because I choose always the 90% of the classes where the 90% of the children are international. Yeah. And so I hope that but I think it works. I help them to feel the language and to be not afraid of the language. And lots of children had bad how you call it, notes. A lot of bad in the school because the mathematics are not good German, of course.
They get bad feedback, you mean, or?
No, they had no...
Or bad grades.
Yeah, bad, and so when we do this creative projects, they know they can do something good. Yeah. So mathematics, it's shit, but they are good in, I don't know, on the stage, or they are good in creating the puppets. So they feel like, you see, they feel better. Yeah. And it's what I do in my life.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you craft your own puppets?
No, I have a colleague which do the puppets for me. Okay. So when I get the funding, I can pay somebody to do the puppets. Yeah. So maybe sometimes I don't pay myself, but I paid somebody else. Like,
I think it's very expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive. Yeah. Yes, but it's art. I have a puppet I can show you later, or
you have it with you here?
Yeah, I have it here.
Oh, can you show it now?
No, it's
not here, but okay.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah. It's from it's carved. Yeah. Yeah. So I have 2 projects with professional puppets, and other projects we do the puppets. Okay. Because it's if not it's too expensive. Yeah. So that's what I am and who I am.
You started with a song. Let's end with a song. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi.
Hi there.
Who are you?
I am Lisbeth Nordin. Okay. I'm from Sweden. And who am I? You may ask. I'm a dreamer, but I'm really grounded in the reality, in the roots. I have my roots in the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I switched from dreamer to be a very realistic person.
Who are you today?
Today I am a dreamer.
A dreamer.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you a writer, an illustrator, something else?
I'm all of it.
You're all of it. Yeah.
I don't want to... Some say it's a problem to be so broad. Yeah. But I want to embrace it all. Oh. Most of it. Yeah. So writing, illustrating, painting, teaching. It's a place I can go to be connected to the superpower. Yeah. Because when writing, illustrating, painting, you have the possibility to create, to be a creator, almost God. You can create new worlds. You can create things that nobody have ever seen. Yeah. And that is really a superpower. So it's a place and it's a heaven, haven I can go to when I want to. It's a free door to open.
Beautiful.
Almost like, when in the children's book, when they open the cabinet and they go into the forest, we can all do that. Yeah. I think it's marvelous. Yeah. And it's also, I think it's so important. I have worked as a teacher as well. it's so important to train your ability to really be able to see or talk about what you cannot see, and to imagination, to imagine what there is not. It's a very big thing for democracy.
Yeah.
And I think also it's word gives you power, so you have to train it all the time. Imagination, and I sound like a preach.
No, it's all right.
I was born into a very religious family, so I'm used to people reading from the Bible. And then I was just a little girl, swinging my legs. And the priest read from the Bible. It's a very beautiful language. It was one of my childhood meeting with language. And then he also tried to explain it all. Yeah. Like we do. We read the text and what do they mean by it? Why did he do like that? So, what was the question? Yes. So, I read, I write, I teach. Sometimes I paint.
Yeah. And as a teacher, you are also the one who's opening doors?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's like being a gardener. I will flourish them, make them flourish and grow up. And I will open door. And I will give them the language of words and the language in drawings and pictures.
Okay.
And it's very amazing.
Yeah.
And it's very, it's all about sharing. Life is about sharing.
Yeah. You're sharing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really interested in teaching, as I teach myself also. And I really I feel that connection to doing many things.
Yeah.
I have the same thing. I can't do one thing. I don't think I would be happy by doing just one thing. But who do you teach? Who are your students, your pupils?
I have taught very small children.
Yeah.
And I have taught youngsters with some kind of learning disability. And it's the same. It's opening words, opening doors, and also lifting up.
Yeah.
It's not I'm not a black pedagogue. I want to lift them, and to build on what you have. Everybody has something you can build on. And also curiosity. Curiosity is very important as an artist and as a teacher.
Yeah.
And I am an example as well, because I'm very, 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 very curious.
Yeah.
Space, earth, geology, it's all interesting. And art and all it. So, I don't remember your question.
Doesn't matter. I don't either. You say curious, but I also think you're very generous.
Yes. And it's nice to be generous.
It is.
You can't, as a teacher, you send an arrow into the future. So you don't always get the feedback at once. But I shot it into the future.
Yeah.
And as well for myself, I also have a compass. I try to have a compass, and it's far away. So sometimes I have to stay and think about, where am I? Which way am I really headed to? And the compass, but I have a distant goal. And I heard you, Lo, talking about being a full-time artist. It was my dream, but I have accepted it, and I take small steps. I'm quite old now. I'm 70, but I still take small steps on that road. I don't forget that part of myself, and I talked to several people here on the conference, and they have small children, and they say, "Oh, I don't have the time. I don't have them." And I say, 10 minutes a day. You just need 10 minutes a day to keep in contact with that little thing you have inside that you want to grow.
Yeah.
And one day they go away, your children, and you miss them so much. But time will come, and life has its obstacles. That's life, and it's intriguing. And also, life gives you a lot of things to write about, if you would like. And it's an excellent thing. I can hide things when I write, because I have had. Is this going in the air? I have secrets, secret lovers, but it was a long, long time ago. But I have hidden them in my novels.
Okay, yeah.
No one knows.
Now the world knows.
I know. Yeah, I know. And some things I don't want to forget, even if it was forbidden. I don't want to forget it. I can go back. And that is also a very fantastic thing about writing and illustrating and art. You have a collective memory. It's about memory.
Smith, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Who are you?
My name is Lena. I am somebody who is creative, curious, a maker. I am all these things and more, probably.
Yeah. Also a puppeteer?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you perform once 10 years ago in Belgium.
Probably.
I think, or
Yes.
maybe more. It was with my son, I think he was 3, he's 15 now. So it's 12 years ago, probably.
12.
Yeah.
It's possible because I'm 2 years in Sweden now.
Yeah.
And I've been 10 years in Belgium. So it's pretty much at the beginning.
Okay, what was before Belgium?
What was before Belgium? I lived in Vienna.
Yeah, also.
That's how I actually met.
Okay, yeah.
Before Belgium, I lived in Vienna. I moved there after my studies.
Yeah.
And that's where I was kind of not really knowing what to do after having a degree in directing puppet theater. And I started my own company there.
Yeah.
In a very small scale.
Yeah.
And that one I moved later to Belgium.
Okay.
And continued there. That's what you saw.
Yeah.
And your son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do today?
As today or in these days?
These days.
Okay. I a couple of times said to myself I quit theater, puppetry, whatsoever, but I continue.
Okay.
I am currently working with the Finnish and Danish theater makers, and we are making a show called Sea Stories, and it should tour in all 3 countries.
Okay.
It's gonna be for kids, like 6-year-olds and up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a very immersive show about the pollution in the Baltic Sea, and there will be a lot of puppetry, storytelling, things like that.
Why do you think about quitting?
Oh, it's this love and hate relationship. Yeah. It's never easy. But that's a long story. Yeah, it's just it's just there are some frustrating moments, and then there comes this moment of some inspiration, and that's when I decide to I do one more show.
Okay,
like that.
You still like it?
I do. I mean, I love making performing arts for kids. I like it still. Yeah.
Okay. What does or what place does illustration have in your life?
I guess I've been always a big fan of picture books.
Yeah.
But I always liked children books that were maybe not always totally for children. I always worked with literature in workshops for young people, older people, doesn't matter. And I think I got hooked when I was living in Belgium.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money in Park van Troje. And
me too.
And then just somehow I got to this even these reading sessions that I made for very young kids.
Yeah.
And I was making more or less I would say creative interactive readings.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we would just skip the text and just worked with the pictures and with material inspired by the illustrations and so on. So it was kind of connected to puppet theater or object theater.
Yeah.
But then also it included the literature, and it somehow very much fitted me.
Okay. Did you ever think about making a book and then a play from that book, or the other way around?
Always.
Yeah.
There's just never enough time.
Yeah.
But now I'm busy with the book. That's my also little reason why I'm here.
Yeah. Okay.
And the book is, so I've written like a lot of text.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 90% of it is out, and it's going to be a picture book. And I'm working with an illustrator.
Okay.
From Belgium.
Can we know who it is?
I don't know. Can we? It's Heike. Sophia.
Sophia,
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I knew her work,
Yeah.
and it really felt like this fits my text.
Yeah.
And when she read my text, she agreed to work with me. So
yeah, you have a good one there.
I am very excited about it. I'm even scared that I'm saying it out loud because it's still far away. It's still a long process to go, but I would also really, really like to stage it.
Yeah, but since you're working with Heike, you probably already have a publisher?
We do.
Yeah? You're scared to say
yes,
it? Yeah,
because I'm scared that if I say something loud, it won't happen.
Yeah, it will.
So,
it will.
Yeah, I think it is now about to happen, so
Okay.
I can say it.
Who is it?
It's the Eenhoorn.
Ah, we have the same publisher. Then. Yeah.
And I really like their work.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Okay, when do you think the book will be released?
What we talked about, it should be more or less second half of 26. So Nässjö 2026.
Yeah, so you have a small year to finish it.
Yes, yeah. But now the text is more or less fixed. Now it's a lot about illustrations.
Now it's Heike.
And yes, and
Yeah.
yes, but I'm already busy with ideas for how to putting it on stage, and I really hope it will work out.
If you put it on stage, will you be performing in Belgium?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
See you then, man.
Done deal. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe your 15-year-old son should come. Or
He should
16.
come, and I also have a 7-year-old daughter.
Oh, perfect.
So she will like it.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So hi again.
Hello, Katrien. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm really fine. Thanks.
Who are you?
I describe myself as a reader, and to show other people how beautiful it is to be a reader from beautiful books, and not the usual suspects. To let's see them. It's more beautiful to show books that are not in huge towers in bookshops, just the little towers in two examples from a book. So it's more difficult to discover them, but it's beautiful to discover them.
And how do you show books to people?
I'm blogging for over 20 years. In 2026, I'm busy 20 years.
Wow.
With one blog.
Yeah.
And it becomes more personal through the years, but never mind. It becomes more personal, but writers enjoy it very much. I don't write for mass public, I know, but I think I write for the right people.
Yeah.
People who wants to find me, they want to, they will.
Yeah.
And that's important to me, and to show books to people.
Yeah.
If people get inspired by what I do, I'm happy with it.
Okay.
Yes.
And it almost sounds like you're on a mission to bring books to people.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Maybe I can't tell you this.
Okay.
It's true over the years. And now you ask me that question.
Yeah.
I have to say, I really don't know. Maybe to Bart Moejaert is someone who inspired me very much. Since my 11 or 13, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a man, and I saw him, and I thought, "Ooh, what handsome!" It's just like that, what handsome guy.
Yeah.
And then I read books between, and that's really true. I'm gonna do a confession. I read books from Bart Moejaert between books of the Babysitters Club.
Okay. Yeah.
Every week, there's come out in the supermarkets en masse books from the Babysitters Club, and first I bought them.
Yeah.
And if they were finished, I read Bart Moejaert.
Okay, I think Bart Moejaert would like that.
In between.
Yeah.
And it becomes bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a meaning, but it's really okay now.
Yeah.
It's really okay how we come it.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you could choose one illustration that is really important to you, which one would it be?
Yeah, it's one book. Between I can't choose between the illustrations because the story and the illustrations and the combination of it are so big to me in my whole life.
Can I make a guess? Is it Wortels?
You don't guess, you know it.
I think I read it a long time ago.
Yeah,
Wortels from Klaas Verplanken.
So it's so true.
Yeah.
And we don't tell each other it today, but it's a pleasure for me to hear you know that.
Yeah. It's coming back to me.
Yeah.
Why do you like Wortels so much?
That's really a difficult question because I don't know because it was a book. It became on my way in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And if I saw it the first time, it was a book. I read the blurb, and then I thought already, if I don't buy this book, I never buy a book again.
Yeah.
And then I began to read, and then I thought I have to show it to people and see what it was. But I prepared myself to read it for public, and I thought, okay. But after the trip, I read it for myself again, and then I was really blown away about it. And
it's beautiful.
It's a stay.
Yeah, I don't
really
think it's still available.
No, it's ticketed.
Yeah, I have one at home. Really happy with it.
I have two.
Yeah, probably.
I have two because one example.
Yeah.
One X is there's a little hole in the paper.
Okay.
So, but just a little hole, and I want to see the paper was broke. So I got as soon as I gone, I bought another example.
Cool.
Yeah.
Klaas will be happy.
I know.
He probably knows this already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
Hello.
Hey.
My name is Anete, and all this time it reminded me my childhood. During the time when I was in Latvia, at the time when I was a child, there you could not make an appointment at a doctor or dentist. You just went to the dentist and you were waiting in a room, and I felt like this waiting.
So it's your youth in Latvia coming back today.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel?
So also a bit the fears, because I don't know, I feel much more safer if I have something to show or some pictures or something. But if it's just me and my voice in front of a microphone, I'm very insecure and worried, and I hear each word that I say, and So, cool. And that's why I feel much more safer if I will describe myself through these illustrations that you asked, the illustrations that are important.
Well, and beforehand I asked for a couple of illustrations that mean a lot to you. Which are those?
So one is also from my childhood, because I think this artist was also the reason why I got interested into stories, and also I liked his humor. And this was a Danish cartoonist, Herluf Bidstrup, and we had his book at home, and there was one cartoon that I liked particularly a lot, and it was about an artist who is spending a lot of time preparing and moving and thinking about what should he draw and what should he do and create, and he's doing all these movements, and at the very end he just makes one point. Okay. And then he falls back into his chair, totally exhausted. Yeah. And that one point. Yeah. And I still see a point.
That's
in that,
a nice idea.
Cartoon, because I am a little bit like him. I think I struggle a lot. I do a lot of inner work to finally then create. I don't know, whatever I do, but I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time. Why I'm not more productive? But I think that inner work is also very important, because somehow at the end, this one drawing will also reflect all that invisible work that I went through before.
I can really relate to that.
Somehow you can feel also through looking at this result. I guess, I hope,
Okay.
And then the second illustration is the first time when I saw, I don't know exactly which illustration was it, but it's work of David Shrigley. And I was like, that guy can't draw. And that's why he became one of my favorite artists, because it set me free from all these perfectionistic thoughts, policemen who are inside saying, no, it has to be beautiful, it has to be perfect, it has to be good. And so I love every artist who kind of sets you free. Just because the only state in which you can really create, I think, is when you feel free. And so I look at his work, or I listen to music and dance a bit, and to silly music, and get out of my head and feel free, and then kind of create.
Okay. Who's number 3?
Number 3 was also something, I think it was at my teenage time. I really liked Hundertwasser at that time. And he has such a drawing which is called Men's 5 Skins. And it was, the first one is just the epidermis, then clothes, and then houses, then there was identity, and the earth. And I thought I remember that illustration when I worked on one of my books or one of the stories, because first it was an animation film, and I thought about character of mine who was she's in a kiosk. She's stuck in that kiosk, and then I thought about that kiosk, what it is actually, and it is kind of one of her skins, also a bit like her identity. And I also think about our professional work as a layer through which you communicate, which you show to the world, and it also is like a means for communication, something you share, something you. Yeah, that's your kiosk. Kind of, you sell something, but it's not obligatory sell, like offer to the world. Yeah. And I think about that illustration. Yeah, I don't know why exactly, but yeah, it was part of that when I thought about that work. But I don't remember what I exactly wanted to say. But not important.
You still live in Latvia?
No, I live in Switzerland.
Okay.
For 18 years already, and but I come from Latvian countryside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I grew up in. We also had a farm with my. I sometimes think as a countryside kind of is that as you live in a socially in a anarchy kind of. You can do whatever you want. No, but because if you are really like not surrounded by people, but you are like around animals and nature, and so you can be free. But it's a dictator of nature because you have to like all the summer long you do things to survive the winter, and if you will not have enough wood or if you will not have enough food, you will die. Yeah. so it is, and it's. I think it's a good school for life as well. You kind of are, but you're not so well. Kind of you feel in a way you feel free, but also have this kind of work ethics. You have to work and then you will survive.
School for life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
You've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, I've been listening. It's been very interesting.
Okay. How are you?
Good. A bit tired, a bit dizzy in my head after listening so much.
Okay. And who are you?
My name is Carolina Klintefelt, and I'm a writer from Sweden.
What do you write?
I write mostly children's books for ages 9 to 12.
You've been in Sweden all your life?
Yes, short periods of time in Germany and in England.
Okay. And how does living here affect your work, or doesn't it?
What a question. How does living affect your work?
Living here?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, anywhere you live. It's an interesting question of, text and creativity connected to a place. But I write some fantasy. I'm not sure if that is connected very much to geography. I suppose things like the country you live in affect the things you write about, and the way Swedes connect to nature is perhaps one of those things. I don't know really.
Yeah. Do you work together with illustrators?
Unfortunately not. I would love to though. I mostly write for an older audience, but I have plenty of ideas for picture books, but I cannot illustrate myself. Yeah. So I would love to find some cooperation. Yeah,
it would be nice. But what I always find a bit weird is that from a certain age, people, we don't illustrate books for young people aged 12, 13, 14. Why?
I know.
Why not?
I know. I suppose, honestly, it's because of financial issues. I think publishing houses, in my experience, have been reluctant to pay for illustrations for books for an older audience. Older
audience and even grown-ups. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And if you say you're making a picture book, you can choose an illustrator. Who will it be?
Oh, I think
he or she can be dead or alive.
Yeah. We have many very good illustrators in Sweden. I would love to have like Eva Lindström or why not Stina Wirsén has been here today. Emma Virke, they are all excellent.
Who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite. I love them all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone is looking at Peggy. En ze komt eraan. It took some convincing you to get over here.
Yeah, it's true.
Why?
I think I'm not so good with groups, with people watching me. So, yeah.
You can ignore them.
Okay, ignore me
Okay.
for just a minute.
Okay, just for a couple of minutes and then they're back.
Okay, you're not here.
Okay, who are you?
Yeah, my name is Peggy. I'm an illustrator from Belgium. I also work in a Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's my thing. I also work in a library, and yeah, there's not much to tell. I think.
I think there is, but how does working in the library affect your work as an illustrator? Because you're surrounded by books, by images, not only picture books, but also, I don't know, very technical illustrations, whatever.
Yeah, it's it's for me. It's if you would want to make me choose between the two, I couldn't choose.
Yeah,
because the work in the library is it's another passion of me. And yeah, the library was the place where I went as a child, and it really opened doors. As do my drawings.
Yeah.
So I'm very bad in words, but I like to speak in illustrations.
Yeah. It's like what Lisbeth said earlier today. It opens. It's like a cabinet you open. You're in a different world.
Yeah, and the great thing about it is that you really create yourself. So yeah, I think I'm a person who thinks in stories. I think in stories and I think in images. And sometimes that's a really good thing, but sometimes that's also a bad thing. I mean, creativity works in two directions. You can make up tremendous and great worlds, but when things get stressy, you've got a vivid imagination. So when you drive past a steep slope, it's a whole story that follows, and you move to the So it's about I really think in stories and images. And it's an ongoing process. It's something that never stops.
Yeah.
But I really do feel more comfortable behind my drawing table.
Yeah.
And in that way, the library is also a very good place for me.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded by stories. You're surrounded by a billion worlds. You just have to open a book and you're in it.
Yeah.
So it really comes close to to who I am. I think. Yeah.
Since you have a very vivid imagination, is there something you would never draw because it's too complex, or?
I don't. It's really strange, but I can't draw bad things. I can draw sad things, but I can't draw something.
Trump, Putin.
Yeah, something like that. I can't draw something that's ugly. Ugly in essence.
Okay.
It's something I can't. Yeah.
Okay. Do you draw tigers on bicycles?
Yeah, because they can ride a bicycle.
Okay.
I mean, it's not impossible.
Okay, that's what I find very difficult to draw. Tigers on bicycles.
But they do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah, that's the fun part of it. You can draw anything you want. And that's really fun.
Thank you. You survived.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Who's next? The last one. Hey, Christina.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Why did it take so long to get over here?
I have many thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
And it takes time to sort out which I could say or not say, or which is the connection between some things.
Okay, what can you say?
I have a little anecdote from my childhood, and I liked books and living in books, and it was like a safe space. And my grandfather and grandmother did take me to a bookshop sometimes, and I could search a book, and then the bookshop owner knew me very well, and one day she gave me a book and said, I think this is for you. I thought of you when I read this book. And when I read this book, I felt very much seen as a person. I was very, very shy as a child. Tillbakadragen in Swedish. And I felt I was seen. And then this is an experience to be seen and to be be recognized. You can recognize yourself in a book.
Yeah.
Is one thing. I think this is important for children, and the other is to get in touch with other experiences, adventures, feelings, and you can live it through without being harmed. And I think this is an experience or experiences I would like to that the children should have. So.
Yeah. Is it something you try to install in your own work? That young people feel seen?
Yes. I'm working with people who are creating books, and I've started as a bookseller. Worked at a publishing house, and then a freelance editor. As an agent and as a organizer of a children's books festival.
Yeah.
And I like to have different perspectives on the topic children's books, and I like to connect people who work with children's books, and that's and to match an illustrator and an author, or match a child and a book, and I like it very much.
Yeah, you're smiling when you're saying it. Yeah, that's nice. You have one last message for all the people listening and the people here in the room?
More courage.
More courage. Yeah, thank you. Deze live aflevering zit erop. Wil je meer Podlood? Op podlood.be vind je alles over deze podcast. Je kan je er ook inschrijven op Brief uit het Atelier, de nieuwsbrief waarin ik je niet alleen laat meekijken in mijn werkplek en klaslokaal, maar je ook op de hoogte hou van Podlood. Je vindt Brief uit het Atelier op christofdevos.com. Als je graag luistert naar deze podcast, dan doe je mij zoals altijd een ontzettend groot plezier door erover te vertellen aan een vriend of vriendin die veel voor jou betekent of gewoon tekent. Ik ben Christophe de Vos en dit was Podlood.